Thanks for joining us for a special edition of Democracy 2013. I'm Russ McCaskey. This is Ask the Candidates. On November 12th, Tulsans will cast their vote for the city's next mayor. Now, in mid-October, we ask you, our digital users, Facebook fans, and Twitter followers, to submit to us questions that you would ask the mayoral candidates if you had the opportunity, and you jumped at the chance. We received so many questions. It was tough to pare them down, but we settled on 5. We're joined now by Tulsa Mayor Dewey Bartlett. First off, thanks for agreeing to take some questions from our digital viewers.
Glad to do it.
All right, so here's the situation. We have 5 questions that we're going to ask, and we have 2 minutes to answer each question, and then at the end, you'll have 2 minutes to kind of tell us why you think you're the best candidate for mayor. So you ready to go?
You bet.
All right, let's start with our first question. This one comes from Rhonda Lehman, came to us through Facebook. What's your plan to finish up road construction that's all over town? Will they be completing the road construction already underway before starting more?
Well, as everybody knows, there's been a tremendous amount of road construction all over town, and that's good progress. And what we've done is we, the city of Tulsa citizens, voted about 5, 6, 7 years ago to finally do something about our streets, improve them, fix them, repair them. And we voted for $450 million, a package, and we are now in the process of completing that responsibility. We have a very good set of prioritization on when things happen. We've brought them in generally on time and consistently under budget. So once the decisions are made on which roads are going to be repaired, we had new policy changes that on the major arterials, when we resurface them, we not only resurface the streets, but we go in and replace and repair everything beneath it, from curb to curb. We make certain that there's at least one sidewalk that is there on a street if there's not one there presently. We replace the water lines, the sewer lines. We improve the sanitary sewer, the storm sewer lines, the catch basins, you know, those things.
Sure.
Okay, fix all that sort of thing. So hopefully it'll be a one-time deal where we don't go back later on and have to dig the road up again time and time again to fix water lines because we didn't fix them when we had the chance. So that process is ongoing, but we're looking forward now to the capital improvements project, which will be voting in November as well, November 12th. And I believe that the citizens are going to support that because they have seen that we've done a very good job of spending their money well and wisely and in good prioritization to where the worst roads are fixed first.
Okay, our next question also comes from Facebook, this one from James McPartland, and he says, do you have any plans to keep businesses here or to attract white-collar jobs?
Well, absolutely, in a variety of ways. As example, I'm in the oil and gas business, and if there's one part of our economy that's doing very well, it's the energy industry. Our government, up until recently, withheld our country's ability to sell energy overseas to our friends, neighbors, whoever wants to buy it, whether it's natural gas or crude oil or any refined products, etc. There's a tremendous demand for liquefied natural gas throughout the world because many countries like Japan, for example, or South Korea, they don't have natural gas reserves in the ground that they can have access to. So they import liquefied natural gas. It's in changed order natural gas. The United States, Oklahoma in particular, we're third in the nation in producing natural gas and all the different aspects of it, but we were not allowed to export it. So I was able to organize a group of 20 mayors and two governors. Sent a letter to the Secretary of Energy and told him the significance that our cities have with energy development. And we asked them to please sign the permits that were pending to allow for that exportation of compressed natural gas, and it worked. But we focus a lot on the relationships that we have with other cities and the businesses in those particular cities. We're aggressively recruiting them, especially in Dallas and Houston in the energy arena. We also have what's called the Mayor's Retention Breakfast, where we get 20 small businesses normally a month, get them together and say, what can we do to make your business better? What can we provide as a city? Are we standing in the way? How can we get out of your way? What can we do to help promote your business, promote the marketability of whatever product you're wanting to sell or promote, that sort of thing. So local business is the backbone of the economy, and we focus on that very aggressively.
Okay, our third question comes, it's rather lengthy, comes from a guy with the moniker Nuke Lelouch, and he says, our country has been overrun with people who are voted into office, then they use that position for personal gain rather than truly help the people that put them there. Are you willing to take an oath of transparency and accountability to your citizens, and how would you do that?
Well, absolutely, yes, and I already have, really. When I took the oath of office, when I was sworn in as a mayor of this great city, I've been born and raised. I was born and raised in Tulsa. Been here all my life and plan to be here the rest of my life. And being mayor has been a real ambition of mine. And so this is not a stepping stone for me to higher office or whatever else might materialize. Our transparency is very well known and very well documented. There's an organization called the Sunset Review Committee. And they analyze municipalities throughout the country on an annual basis, about 200 from what I understand. And we've consistently, ever since I've been mayor, we've consistently been given a rating of A and A+. Previous administration was able to get a C, so that kind of shows the relativity of how we've improved that capability. We've been promoting the use of TGov, our television channel, much more aggressively than had been in the past. We have more boards, authorities, and trusts that are televised, both on a live basis, but also on a taped, recorded basis as well. So I feel that we're doing a very, very good job. We set into place, put in place individuals whose responsibility it is to have a good coordinated fashion of meeting the request for information that people might have. When they either by mail or by phone. It's a much more understandable system we have now to provide information to the public. So we're doing a great job.
Okay. All right. Our next question is from a Twitter follower, Jason Rowland, and he writes, he wants to know, where is the train between Oklahoma City and Tulsa?
Boy, that's a good question. Right now, the Oklahoma Department of Transportation owns the track between Oklahoma City and Tulsa, most of it. And the reality is that it's going to take a lot of things to occur, in my view, before passenger rail service really is supported in a meaningful way to where it would be productive. Right now, there's a train, of course, that goes between Oklahoma City and Fort Worth, but it's heavily subsidized by the federal government. The ticket prices, if they were to go away, would double, be way over $100 just to go down to Fort Worth. So in order for passenger rail traffic to really occur in a meaningful way, one thing that will have to happen is that wherever the train ride goes to, say Oklahoma City, for example, they're going to have a very good transit system in order to take people around once they get there. Mm-hmm. I mean, we can't expect people to take cabs, they're too expensive. Can't expect people to walk if they want to go to Norman, for example, or go 5 or 10 miles away. Conversely, the same thing. People are coming to Tulsa. We have to put into place a very good, usable system that makes sense. And those systems are very, very expensive. Right now, unfortunately, with the price of gasoline being where it is, more people are inclined to still take their own personal cars for the convenience. And most people are able to afford those type of trips. At different points in time, we've seen in the past when the price of gasoline got up or goes up, then people are much more interested in alternative transportation, especially motorbikes and bicycles, things like that. So a lot of it is cost driven. So we'll get there eventually. What we have to do is plan for it, and we are doing that.
Okay. All right, our final question tonight from Carrie Clawwitter, and Carrie writes, in detail, can you describe your plan to attract more businesses, decrease crime, and improve our infrastructure? Now, we've already talked about infrastructure some and business some, so let's focus on the crime part of that. What's your plan to decrease crime, and what have you been doing for the last 4 years? What would you do for the next 4 years?
Well, what we have done, I was fortunate to be able to hire Police Chief Chuck Jordan. Terrific man. And he understands how these systems work. Soon after he became our police chief, he instituted what's called the beat system that made police officers focus on a particular area of Tulsa, and they're held accountable for what happens inside that particular area. He or she, because of their continual involvement in patrolling those areas, they understand and see things, and they understand like the back of their hand, and so they know when something's out of place. They call on the businesses. Hey, what can I do to help? Everything okay? You see anything funny? Here's my card. Here's my cell phone. Give me a call if you need something. So that type of outreach is very, very important. But at the end of the day, the biggest crime-fighting tool, in my view, is economic development. When we see people that are out of jobs and they get desperate, and so that leads to possibly a life of crime, or at least getting involved with it. But when we are able to provide individuals economic development opportunities that create jobs, real jobs, and provide the benefits of that so they can provide for themselves and their family, that economic development activity is a cornerstone of our administration. Has been ever since I became mayor, and will continue that way after the election is over with and I continue as mayor. That job provides more hope and more reality of staying in Tulsa, of becoming a productive citizen, but also providing for one's family, the children. And when those children see that hope, and they experience that hope themselves of going through high school and learning a variety of educational opportunities, specifically learning trades. We've been asking the school system to get more involved with the VOTEC system to provide that opportunity. If they're not going to college, at least they'll have some more options. So it's a very, very key component to crime prevention, economic development.
All right, now in just a second, we're going to ask you to give us a couple of minutes about why you think you're the best candidate. But first off, we'd like to thank Rhonda, James, Nuke, Jason, and Carrie for their questions that came to us on Facebook and Twitter. All right, final portion of our discussion today, 2 minutes. Tell us about why you think you're the best candidate to be mayor.
Well, what's interesting about this whole race, Russ, is that we have a sitting mayor and we have a former mayor. And each of us has a verifiable track record. Everybody knows what we've been doing. It's pretty easy to figure that out. I'm very proud of the record we've had. Whenever we look at other cities in this country that have been productive, that have had good results, Oklahoma City is a perfect example. Indianapolis, Louisville, Kentucky, Austin, Texas, several others. They have consistency of leadership in the political arena as well as in the business community. When I was sworn in as mayor, in December of 2009. I was the fourth different mayor within the previous 10 years. So there's no continuity in that type of activity at all. Every time there's a new mayor, a new leader, new this, new that, things change, relationships are different, different vision, different ideas. Everybody pretty well knows what I've been trying to do and what I have accomplished and the road we're going. And it's been a very good road. Economic development, crime prevention, job creation, transparency, government more efficient. We had an opportunity right after I became mayor where I really had to, by trial by fire, had to make this city much more efficient and much more solvent from an economic development standpoint, and it worked. So my desire is to continue on as a mayor of this great city and even keep more focused on those successes we've had in the past for economic development, for tying all those great assets we have in this community, and then watching things like the Gathering Place come together, watching things like the new casino expansion at the Creek Nation is just announced a few days ago. Watching those up and down the river, 11 miles of river, now we've got a great opportunity to even get focused on it and make it grow and prosper.
All right, Mayor Dewey Bartlett, thanks for being with us today, and we appreciate you taking questions from our digital users. And for more information on the mayor's race, this November you can go to www.kjrh.com/mayor2013. You'll find information on the candidates, where they stand on the issue, our truth test stories, and other campaign ads and more. Plus, you'll see these Ask a Candidate interviews with both Dewey Bartlett and Kathy Taylor. Again, Mayor Bartlett, thanks for being here with us today, and we thank you for your questions. They're the ones that matter to you, and we thank you for watching as well. Remember, vote on November 12th.